Hi everybody, it's Danielle from Haverford Township Free Library and welcome to our first Mundo Monday. Mundo Monday is going to replace my evening stretch on Monday nights, but I think you'll find that it is very similar. Specifically, we are going to focus on books by BIPOC authors. BIPOC is an acronym that stands for Black, Indigenous, People of Color. And people of color will include, but are not limited to, Asian, Middle Eastern, Pacific Islanders, and Latin descent. Mundo means world in Spanish, and so we will be celebrating the world and all the people in it by reading their stories. So tonight for our first Mundo Monday, we are going to be reading Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon. This is by Kat Zhang, illustrated by Charlene Chua. Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon. Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon is published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers. During story time, Ms. Mary reads Amy's class a book about dragons. Dragons that hoard treasure, dragons that blow fire, dragons that fight knights in gleaming armor. Afterward, she tells everyone to make their own dragons. Make them special, she says. Make them yours. Sam draws a dragon with enormous teeth. He crafts the wings from postage stamps. Willa sculpts a dragon with a big fat belly. She strings daisies for the tail. Amy paints a dragon with a long, thin body. It has horns like a stag and claws like an eagle. "Are you sure that's a dragon?" asks Sam. "It doesn't look like a dragon," adds Willa. Amy says. "Maybe they're right." Amy scribbles with her pencil and doodles with her crayons. She glues beads to the paper and some to her hair. Bits of dragons emerge. Dragons with shiny green scales, dragons with leathery wings. They look great. They look just like the dragons in Ms. Mary's book, but none of them work. None of them feel quite right. These dragons are not the dragons Amy wanted to make. "Time to clean up," says Ms. Mary. "I'm not done," cries Amy. The rest of the class put their dragons on the show and tell table, but there's nothing from Amy. Nothing at all. See, there's Willa's dragon, there's Sam's dragon, there's Wayne's dragon, there's Kat's dragon, but there's Amy's spot. No dragon there. Willa and Sam come over after school, but Amy can't even smile. "Oh dear," says Amy's grandma. "Why the sad face?" So Amy tells her. Her grandma gets a twinkle in her eye. "Come," she says, "let me tell you a story." She tells them about dragons that bring down the rain, dragons that are wise and just, dragons that fly without wings. Amy runs to the attic. She remembers where she got the idea for her dragon. She pulls out something red and yellow, something with a big fat snout and golden horns. "A dragon!" gasp Sam and Willa. "A dragon," agrees Amy. Amy's grandma puts on the costume's head and Amy puts on the tail. Together they dance down the attic steps and roar through the house. "Maybe you can bring it to school," says Sam. "Please, please bring it to school," begs Willa. Says Amy. She thinks about the dragons in Ms. Mary's book. She thinks about the dragons in Grandma's story. Bringing this dragon to class would be great, but there's something missing. Something to make the dragon Amy's. After Sam and Willa go home, Amy begins to plan. She shows her sketches to her family. "Will you help me?" she asks. They measure out fabric and cut it into shape. They carve a cardboard frame and fasten the cloth. Amy knots together 3 silk scarves. Then she adds some beads and some glitter and a little more glitter, just because. Ready? Asks Grandma. Amy takes a deep breath. Ready, she says. Amy comes to school with a big paper bag. The other children gather around. Is it your dragon? Asks Willa. Show us, cries Sam. Amy puts on the dragon's head. She invites Willa and Sam beneath the dragon's tail. Together they dance through the classroom and roar between the desks. Everybody cheers. Ms. Mary laughs so hard she can't even breathe. Amy's dragon is red and yellow. It has a big fat snout and golden horns. It has enormous green wings and a tail of 3 silk scarves and beads and glitter. Lots of glitter. It works splendidly. It feels just right. It is exactly the dragon Amy wanted to make. So next is a little bit of information about East and West dragons. First, there is a dragon activity that you can do at home with some tracing paper, some construction paper, scissors, split pins, and art supplies. But let's learn a little bit about the Eastern dragon. The Eastern dragon is a symbol of good luck and strength in many cultures. It usually has a long, thin body and no wings. Its horns look like stag antlers, and its claws look like eagle claws. Its body is covered in scales. Eastern dragons come in many different colors and can have a wide range of magic powers depending on the story. Often, they are very intelligent. A little bit more information that I learned about Chinese dragons that I would like to share with you are that they are legendary creatures in Chinese mythology and Chinese folklore. They have many animal-like forms, but are most commonly depicted as snake-like with 4 legs. They traditionally symbolize potent powers, particularly control over water, rainfall, typhoons, and floods. They are a symbol of power and strength, and good luck for people who are worthy of it. In Chinese daily language, excellent and outstanding people are compared to a dragon. The presence of dragons within Chinese culture date back several thousand years, with the discovery of a dragon statue dating back to the 5th millennium BC. Chinese dragons are strongly associated with water and weather in popular religion. They are believed to be the rulers of moving bodies of water, such as waterfalls, rivers, or seas. It is also one of the 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. Yours truly was born in the year of the dragon. Let's compare it to Western dragons, the ones that you might know a little bit more about. Western dragons usually have 4 legs and a big pair of leathery wings. Like Eastern dragons, their bodies are covered in scales, but unlike Eastern dragons, they often breathe fire. Stories about Western dragons tend to show them as greedy creatures that live in caves and love treasure. Their horns tend to be sharp and pointy, and their claws look like lizard claws. That was Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon by Kat Zhang. Kat Zhang was born in Texas to Chinese parents. She is the author of YA novels, middle grade novels, and 2 picture books. Other than Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon, you can also read Amy Wu and the Perfect Bow. A bow is not B-O-W like bowing at the end of a show. It's spelled B-A-O, and it is a steamed bun filled with sweet or savory fillings and is very popular in Chinese cuisine. I hope you enjoyed our first Mundo Monday, and I hope you will join me next week. Bye for now.